Hey guys, and welcome back to What Are You Reading for this week? It's our favorite segment, and we know it's your favorite segment too. You guys know the drill. We'll let you know what we've been reading this week in the Better Reading Office, and you'll let us know in the comments what you're reading, and we'll just chat about books. It's our favorite thing to do. So great to see you all. Great to be back. We missed last week because we had another live event, but we'll chat about that later. But let us know what you were reading and we'll get into all the books that we've been reading. We've got a big stack. We're going to talk about lots of books to make up for last week. So we'll begin off. We'll start with our book of the week, which is The Instrumentalist. This isn't the actual cover. This is just the art cover, but I love this. It's so beautiful. Look at that. So it's about music, as you can tell, and you can see if you open it up. Well, not quite so far. And then it's got the beautiful cover there. So The Instrumentalist, Harriet Constable. This is inspired by a true story, and it's set in Venice. What a beautiful city to be set in. And it's all about a musical rivalry. So it's about the music prodigy who was a favorite student of Antonio Vivaldi, and she was amazing. But then there was a rivalry between her and her mentor. So if you want to know what happens in this book, give it a read. The Instrumentalist by Harriet Constable. Got some comments. Hi Meredith, good to have you here. And yes, Ollie has put a link to our review in the chat, so if you want to know more about that book, go give that a read. And then next, I know a lot of you have been waiting for this anticipated book release of We Solve Murders by Richard Osman. We're all very excited to get this in the office. We love Richard Osman. We love his series, The Thursday Murder Club. This is actually the start of a new series, and it's about a duo, Detective duo, Steve and Amy. So Steve is actually Amy's father-in-law, and he's kind of, put the adrenaline-filled life to rest and leaves that up to Amy as she is working in private security. And, at the moment, at the beginning of the book, she's on a remote island just trying to keep an author alive. She thinks that would be easy. But then not a dead body, a bag of money, and a killer comes to play. So she calls up the only person she trusts, which is her father-in-law, and they go on the run trying to stay ahead of the enemy. So it's a great read. If you love a cozy crime, this one's for you. Let's read some comments. Anne is enjoying 3 novels since her last comment. The Death of Dora Black, A Petticoat Police Mystery by Lainey Anderson, Tipping Point by Danuka Mackenzie, Guilty by Definition, and Susie Dent. And she's now reading Eddie Flynn, Book 8 by Steve Kapaner. Oh, so many books on the run. Love to hear that. And Jess is reading Finding Dorothy by Elizabeth Letts. And Wynn is reading Here One Moment by Leanne Moriarty. Great read. And Kaz is reading Red River Road by Anna Downs. Oh, getting all these comments in. Love it. Got Carolyn. She's reading Shadow of Winter Robins by Louise Woolhunter. And Christine has just brought We Solve Murders by Richard Osman. Looking forward to this one. Yeah, great read. Definitely a good one. I know lots of you have been looking forward to it. So it's exciting that it's finally here. I always know that I always have a countdown for the books that I know are coming out soon. And it's always so exciting when I can finally get my hands on it, when I get to read it. So looking forward to you all reading it and letting us know what you think. So moving on to the next book. It's the Hit Woman's Guide to Reducing Household Debt. It's a really wickedly clever book. It's about Olivia, and she used to, do lots of terrible things back when she was a part of a Spanish crime syndicate, but she decides that life is over for her. She flees to Australia and she sets up a new life, starts a family, but then a criminal gang brings tragedy to her family, and she's like, oh, this is karma for all the stuff that I was doing back in Spain. So she wants to get revenge on the gang, but then she realizes that she doesn't want to get more karma. So she decides to create situations where the bad men get themselves killed through their anger, ego, and greed. But she's trying to do this without the police catching on to her. So it sounds like a great read. Definitely looking forward to reading this one. Okay, what's next? Another great one, Crimes, Shadow City by Natalie Conyar. It's between 2 cities, Sydney and Australia, of course, and then Cape Town in South Africa. So a sergeant, Jackie Rose, she finds a body of a young woman in Chinatown, and she's been beaten, she's been tortured, and she has a tattoo of a sun on her. But before she can get into the investigation, Australian Federal Police take over. So she's one main character, and then the other main character is a detective from South Africa, Shark Lawrence, and he is just there to visit his daughter. But then also a girl from South Africa who has gone to Sydney to study has gone missing. So he decides to investigate what's happening to her, and he gets together with Jackie Rose and they team up to figure out what's happening, and it leads them all the way around the world back to South Africa. So if you want to know what's going on, it's a minefield of deceit and manipulation. So that they're being set by an enemy that they're racing against. So if you want to know more, give Shadow City a read. Got lots of comments from you. Love it. Love hearing what you're reading. Where are you up to? Meredith is reading Studio Girls by Lisa Island and What Have You Done by Shari Lapina. The Crag by Claire Sutherland, a gripping read that Janine's reading. Jackie is reading The Moon Sister by Lucinda Riley, and she says it's an absolutely addictive series. So glad to hear that. Holly is reading Death in a Lonely Place by Stig Abel. Madonna is reading Elizabeth Strout's Tell Me Everything. Oh, Sharon's got the new copy of Richard Osman's book arriving today. That's so exciting. Don't you love getting those notifications? Britt is reading 17 Years and she's loving it. Yes, JP Pomeray, this is a great segue. We love a good segue. His book, 17 Years Later, we've got a copy here. This is actually the art too, but his podcast came out this week on the Stories Behind the Story podcast with Cheryl. So if you want to hear all about his experience, I was listening to his podcast episode today, and it's so interesting. So put a link in the comments to give that a listen, and definitely give this book a read. It's really good. Some people in the office have been reading it and they highly recommend it. So definitely go give that one a read and a listen to the podcast. Who else do we have? Jill just finished reading Head for the Heels by Tricia Stringer, that better reading preview, great read to look up for. Yes, I started reading that one too. I think that's set in the Adelaide Hills, which I always love reading Australian books and knowing the different places they've been set in. And another great segue, I love when you guys give me segue. So preview, if you don't know what preview is, it's where you get to sign up for a chance to receive an art copy of a book and read it before it's come out, and then you review it for us and it goes on the Better Reading website. So if you want to get a chance to participate in preview, you can sign up to our newsletter. It comes out every Wednesday, and that's all the information you need to know. So yeah, definitely give preview a check. Just sign up to our newsletter. Information's on our website. Okay. Christine is currently reading The Fog by Brooke Hardwick. Definitely kept her on the edge of her seat. Oh, don't you love that when you're reading like a crime or a mystery and you just don't know what's going to happen next, and you're just so tense and you just have to keep turning the pages and it just keeps you up all night. It's such a good book to read when it's like that. Therese is reading The Silent Patient by Alex Michelle. Jane just finished She by H.C. Warner and The Bellbird Country Choir by Sophie Green. And Melvina just finished When It Rains by Aussie Dave Warner. Pretty full on Crocs and Crime and Murder. Sounds very Aussie if it's Crocs and crime together. Love that. And speaking about Dave Warner, we actually had him in the office last week. If you realized we didn't do What Are You Reading, it's because we had a crime authors panel last week. We had David Wish-Wilson, Dave Warner, and Alan Carter, that's the other one. I was like, Dave Carter? No, it's confusing. So it was a Dave and a David, but then an Alan. So I've got their books here. Alan Carter, Prize Catch, Cutler by David Wish-Wilson, and Dave Warner, When It Rains. And they just chatted about their experience writing crime. There was a Q&A at the end, and just the experience in the writing industry, and also a bit about their life. I think it's Dave Warner, he was a musician, so that's pretty cool to see how that's affected his writing. So if you want to give that a watch, that's on our YouTube channel and you can watch it there. But yeah, that was lots of fun having them in the office, getting to chat to them and just hearing what they had to say. Moving on. Natasha is halfway through Lynn Yeawatt's The Silver Listener for book club. Whoa, 3 timelines of one family deals with domestic violence and a cold case disappearance. Haunting, heartbreaking, utterly gripping. That sounds like a really hard-hitting book, a lot of stuff going on there. I feel like that would take me a while to read just because it would be so, as you say, like haunting and heartbreaking. Therese is reading The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides. Oh, Christine's listened to the podcast with Cheryl and JP, and she said it was very interesting. Thanks, Christine, for that. We love your support. Oh, Sharon said Fiona Barden books are good for keeping you guessing. Oh, I've never heard of her, but I'll definitely have to look her up. Thanks for that suggestion, Sharon. Okay, moving on. What do we have next? We have Capture or Kill. This is in the Vince Flynn series, but it's actually written by Don Bentley because Vince sadly has passed away, but he does a great job of seamlessly writing the next book in the series. He really captures Vince Flynn's way of writing by putting his own spin on it. And it's, insightful commentary on the war, thought-provoking. And so basically what happens is that the CIA director briefs the president that there's short time left in the capture or kill window for Osama bin Laden, so they need to get moving. So, I think it'll be really interesting to get an insight into that and how that went down, even if it's just, fiction about it. But sounds really good, really gripping. Give that one a read if that sounds interesting to you, if you want to read. Yeah. Sorry, I've got so many books going on here. And then last book, The Sea Changes by Meredith Appleyard. Bit of a change of pace. This is one more like of a cozy read, a lighthearted read. So if you don't feel like a crime read, this is the read for you. Two main characters, Ruth and Hamish. Ruth made a successful sea change to Cutler's Bay, where she opens up her own cafe, Rosie's Cafe, and it was her dream, but the shine is beginning to wear off, and she doesn't know what to do. And then Hamish just retired and he moved to the city, which was his dream, but he's not loving it. And then he has to go to Cutler's Bay where Ruth lives because his father passed away and he needs to sort that out. And then they become good friends. And Hamish, the idea of moving to Cutler's Bay becomes more appealing for him. So if you want to see what happens to Hamish and Ruth and if they just have a friendship or if it turns into something more, give The Sea Changes a read. I love it. There's actually a quote on the back from Better Reading that says there is a great comfort to be found in a Meredith Appleyard novel. So that was a quote from one of you. So I think that's really cool that it's on the back of the book. So I'll put that one down. Let's read. Jackie just finished The Sea Changes. Lovely story. Love that. Thanks for that, Jackie. Wendy, she's finished The Only Way Home by Liz Byron, and she's just started Barefoot in the Bindis by Angela Wales. Older books but interesting. Good to hear. Love that. I feel like sometimes it's nice to go back to an older book and it's always comfort in that. Okay. So now some news for Better Reading Office. We have a merch sale going on at the moment. It's 40% off for spring. You can find that on our website. At the top, it will say merch. You just click on that. It will take you to the website and it just gets applied automatically in the checkout. You don't need a code or anything. And that's on for all of September. So it'll end in September. So got, I think, 11 days left in September, if my maths is correct. And so we're running out of stock of something. So if you want something, make sure you grab it straight away. First, we've got our What Are You Reading journals. It comes with an elastic bookmark that you can just put in, and then it's lined. Elastic thing to keep it at the front, and then the ribbon bookmark to keep where you're up to. I use this every day. I love writing notes in it. It keeps me on track. So we've got the notebook, and then we've got t-shirts. They come in 3 different colors. So we've got our first one. We've got the grey one, and this is a crew neck, but it also comes in a V-neck as well. So they all come in crew neck or V-neck. So we've got the grey colorway. We've got the black colorway. And then we have, lastly, we've got white, and then you can see this is the V-neck. So 40% off. Links also in the comments. We can also find on our website till end of September. Getting quick. We've already run out of tote bags and mugs. So make sure you grab what you want before it goes. So that's the merch sale. Next, the Northern Beaches Readers Festival is coming up. She'll actually be she'll be hosting a panel, and it's called Chef's Kiss, Our Love Affair with Food, and it's on the Sunday, the 29th of September at 10 a.m. Get your tickets now. I think there will be a link. Ollie will post a link in the comments. So if you want to get your tickets, get that now. But I don't know. That sounds really great. I love reading and I love food. So combining them in one just sounds great. And I know we always get some really good cookbooks in the office. We just got views on our Instagram. We've got Sofra, which is a really beautiful cookbook. Ollie's gonna, I think, maybe bring it over. I think they're all gone.
They're all gone.
We're taking it home to use for content, but maybe I'll bring it back in next week and show you guys then, or Cheryl, whoever's doing it. But it's such a beautiful cookbook, and who's it by? Karima, and she's just such a lovely person, and I'm really excited for her. So yeah, her food's great. We got treated to her food in the office. So yeah, so stuff like that, love. So I'm really interested to hear this panel, and if you love food and you love reading, check it out. Also, we have some new authors and authors episodes out. I think the latest one was with Bree Lee and Keelan Hughes. We're going to pop up a photo on the screen. Yep, so we've got Keelan Hughes on the left there and Bree Lee on the right, and that was really interesting. So if you want to give that a watch, go onto YouTube, and we have all our other authors and authors episodes there, and we've got lots more coming, so wait for those. We also have some other videos. So we've posted some book pick videos where Ollie and I discussed the latest books we've been loving. We also did a book unboxing with you, a haul with all the new books arriving in the office, and that's also where the crime authors panel will be. So lots of good books videos there. So yeah. What else is happening? Lisa is reading Art Hour at the Duchess Hotel. Naomi says, I haven't read in a while. What's a good book going into summer? I feel like Emily Henry is always a good go-to for a summer read, beach read, place, people we meet on vacation, happy place. Definitely love good Emily Henry. I also just finished reading The Wedding Forecast. That's by Nina Kenwood. It's similar to Emily Henry books. It made me laugh. It's feel-good rom-com, one of my favorites. So love that. That's also another good one. So yeah, those will be my suggestions. Natasha, our Foodies Book Club did From Salt to Jam by Katrina Maynick. Amazing food combo flavors. Oh, that's so interesting. I'll have to give that one a read. Yeah, I don't know. Do you guys I just find it interesting talking about cookbooks because we get some beautiful cookbooks in the office, but I feel like I always tend to go on Pinterest to get my recipes. But do you guys use a lot of cookbooks? You just have one go-to cookbook? I remember growing up, we'd always have the Women's Weekly cookbooks that we would go to. So those were, some cookbooks we'd use, but we get great ones in the office. We got Maggie B's one recently, so love those. Sharon said, Fiona Barden book examples, Local Girl Gone Missing, and The Child. Her next book is in November called Talking to Strangers, and she's pre-ordered it. Oh, excited for that one to arrive. I'll go give those a read. Thanks, Sharon. Olivia is reading Camino Ghost by John Grisham. And yeah, anyway, keep on commenting. Love to know what you're reading.
Ask about their favorite crime detectives because we've got the crime media.
Oh, and on Friday, Ollie just reminded me, great idea. So on Friday, we have another newsletter going out. So it's all about crime. We've got all our crime podcasts in there, all the crime videos and stuff. So let us know who your favorite crime detective is. Would love to know. And I'm blanking right now. I couldn't even tell you who mine is, but there's so many good crime detectives. So yeah. Colleen is reading Beartown by Frederick Blackman, and then she will read We Solve Murders. Somebody's suggesting to Naomi to read Safe Haven by Shankari Chandran. Oh, haven't heard of that one. I'll also have to check that one out. Okay. If we've got no more comments, I think, have I gone over everything? Northern Beaches Writers Festival, ANA podcast. Yes. Britt says, she'll be reading The Ledge by Christian Wright next. Yes, that's a great book. We love Christian Wright, and I think we have him coming into the office soon. So you'll have to stay tuned to next week he'll be here. So you have to stay tuned to see what we do with him. But yes, thanks so much, guys, for joining in. What are you reading today? I love hearing your suggestions. I'm going to go read some. Who was it? Sharon's recommended. I'm going to go read some Fiona Barden books now. Anyway, great. We'll see you next week for What Are You Reading? Thanks for tuning in.